Hello everyone, we are Group 4. Our topic is Shijie soy milking. My name is Joanna and my team members are Simon, Jimmy, Jerry, Phoebe, and Tim. This is our outline. We will first give a brief introduction, then is our analysis, and finally we will present our solutions. And today I'm going to introduce the Shijie soy milking. First, let's look at a comment on the internet. People gave great comments, and that's why we want to interview the store. Some background information. Shijie Soy Milking currently owns 3 stores. The first one is the Yonghe headquarters. It is the oldest store, and it has been around for more than 50 years. The second is the Minzu branch, and the third is the Chang'an branch. Those 3 branches target different customers, and thus their popular items are also different. In the interview, we asked the store owners what is the factors to consider when opening up a new store, and he gave us a very brief and simple answer, which is location, location, location. About the Yonghe headquarters, it currently employs 50 persons, and the percentage of chef to waitress to staffs are 7:2:1. Product types range from deep fry to bacon. Some of the examples are fried breadsticks, radish cakes, and sweet pastries. The floor plan. First floor is kitchen, food preparation zone, and dining area. Second, third, and fourth floors are central kitchen, office, and meeting room. So the store owner shared us some picture that we can present during this pandemic, even though we couldn't really visit the store in person. Yeah, and this is the area for making buns, and as you can see, the raw material flours are piling up in the corner, and this is the facility for making the food items. The left side is an electric dough maker. The right side is large size steamer that are used for steaming the buns. After interview, we conclude 5 competitive advantages that Shijie soy milking has. The first one is that they serve high quality food. Let's take their soybean milk for example. It is made freshly every day, and they won't add food preserver, which make customers trust their products more. And the second is that they has a well-organized central kitchen. Popular items are freshly prepared by a central kitchen every day. Chefs have to wear uniform, and the kitchen is also washed every day, so the foods making there are really sanitary. Yeah. The third one is that they have professional delivery team. The delivery team deliver pre-made items to the 2 branches every night. And the fourth one is that it has long opening hours. The Yonghe headquarters is open up for 24 hours, and you can eat breakfast, but you can also visit the store any time of the day. So the fifth one is that the store has a great reputation. For example, during the pandemic time, they donate more than 10,000 cups of soybean milk to local hospitals to support the people who work at there. For the cost structure, the store spend most of the money on labor costs, and then is food costs, then other expenses like rent, electricity fee, and water bill. And inventory management. The store usually keep a 3-week safety stock level, and staffs are responsible for keeping a close contact with raw material suppliers. The suppliers will warn the staffs about potential delay of raw materials so that the staffs can order more to prevent out of stock from happening. In the interview, we also asked the store owner whether they practice just-in-time system or not, and the store owner replied us because restaurants need to serve food to the customers in time, so that they don't use just-in-time system. They will order raw materials first, then turn them into pre-made item. While customers order it, they could just serve it, so that it's more convenient and efficient. In the interview, we also asked them how to reduce food waste, and he replied us that because Shijie soybean milking is a really well experienced and old store, so they kept a lot of data. They could use this data to analyze future demand and thus reduce food waste. They also work with delivery platforms so that food made from them are more accessible to customers, and thus food waste won't happen that often.
Okay, so in the next, we will take a look at the production process in the restaurant. To begin with, when it comes to the popular signature dishes, which is mainly about soybean milk, steamed bun, or youtiao, the restaurant owner said that they actually produce these dishes on their own. First of all, they buy the raw materials from the factory, and then shipped the ingredient back to the restaurant directly. In the next, they cook the ingredients with different kinds of process according to the food type. For example, they have their own machine for making soybean milk in the central kitchen, which is located on the second floor of the restaurant. And after all the dishes have been made out, they will be put into the refrigerator first and waiting for heating again. At the same time, the business owner will need to contact other shop managers, making sure how much food has to be delivered to the branch's restaurant. Finally, when the restaurant opens in the next day, the chefs are able to heat the food as soon as possible and then deliver to the customers. Okay, so in conclusion, this kind of food production process has several advantages. For example, the owner is able to reduce the cost of cooking because the raw materials are relatively cheaper than buying frozen food products from other retailers. In addition, they are able to control the quality and quantity of a variety of food because they can make adjustments to the process quickly. However, there are also some limitations for the food production process we just mentioned. After all, the restaurant provides so many kinds of dishes. It is impossible for them to prepare all the food by themselves. Therefore, if the cooking process of some delicacies are really complicated, like 小笼包 or some other side dishes, they will choose to buy the frozen food from wholesalers or retailers, and it is more convenient for them to reduce the efforts of making this food. So basically, what we have just mentioned is about how they prepare the food, and this is the picture of the central kitchen with some stoves, cooking equipment, and kitchenware. In addition, we also want to introduce the facility layout of the restaurant. According to the restaurant owner, he mentioned that they had redecorated the restaurant's interior before. The idea of redecoration actually came from McDonald's. As we all know, a traditional McDonald's restaurant has been divided into three parts, which are kitchen area, service area, and dining area. If the customer takes the orders, the McDonald's staffs will soon prepare the hamburger and deliver the food to the counter. So the customer could take away or take food to the dining area. Therefore, 世界豆浆大王 has also divided their restaurants into three parts, which are kitchen area, preparation area, and the dining area. After the customers take the orders in front of the counter, the chef will soon deliver the food to the counter, which are just heated. For the takeaway customers, they can get food quickly. And for the customers eating inside the restaurant, the waiter will bring it to customers without walking into the kitchen. In conclusion, this kind of facility layout has increased the efficiency of delivering food and reduced the time wasted.
So let's move on to the next section, food delivery. They worked so hard to develop an online food delivery service in collaboration with Uber Eats and Foodpanda in recent years. We noticed that they do pretty good jobs on both platforms. They have got 4.7 stars on Uber Eats and also 4.6 stars on Foodpanda as well. That's why we decided to dig into this area. During the interview with the head chef, she mentioned that the way they manage its inventory is based on its past experiences, including those low season and peak seasons. Food preparation is also adjusted based on different seasons as well. As we all know, the weather can also be a strong indicator and a factor that influences the overall demand of the market. When the weather is bad, the overall demand of the market is low. In turn, it may produce food waste, which is all the companies try so hard to avoid. Luckily, the head chef also told us that the concern has already been solved by the rise of the online food delivery, because all the food they make now can easily be sent to all the consumers under any weather condition, which is really good for them. Now, the ratio between staying and delivery is 5:1, with priority given to the diners at the restaurants. However, we suppose that the proportion of the delivery is going to increase in the next couple of seasons as all the consumption habits in the market have changed. And also according to COVID-19 guidelines, staying is now suspended. Here is the service blueprint that we drew to show the whole process of its food delivery service from start to end. The head chef mentioned that they have 2 POS machines that are used to receive orders, and the service is really simple, so they don't want to let the couriers to wait for the food. So they will start to heat up the food once they receive the orders on the machine, and it can take 3 minutes to do so. After that, they will finish packing in 2 minutes. They will just wait for the couriers to pick up the food in the final stage. But usually depends on the time it takes the couriers to come to collect the food. Its standard execution time is roughly 10 minutes. Okay, so on this page, we also drew a service blueprint to show the process of a stay-in and takeaway. So at the bottom, we have a line of visibility. All the steps underneath it are not seen by the customers. On the other side, all the steps are executed in front of the customers. So they usually purchase the materials earlier, such as flour, oil, by air and sea shipment, because sometimes the lead time can take up to 3 weeks. So the other step that is not seen by the customers is the food production in its central kitchen. All the food they made there is not done yet. They are only semi-finished. They need to be reheated once they receive the orders, which means that they are not using just-in-time system. In addition, the semi-finished food is stored in the kitchen. The customers only can see the food when they are being heated. However, the overall process is very similar to the one I just introduced on the last page. The difference is that once the food is plated and packed, all the customers are split into 2 kinds. One is staying and the other one is takeaway. It takes about 30 seconds to serve the food to the diners and also 15 seconds to those who want to do takeaway. Therefore, the standard execution time for staying is 25 minutes and then also 5 minutes for takeaways.
Thanks, Jimmy, for the introduction of food delivery. I'm Joe, and I'm here to present our analysis of the impact of COVID-19 on Shijie soy milking. First, let's start with a brief overview of Taiwan's current COVID situation. This recent outbreak of COVID-19 since mid-May has resulted in new restrictions in Taiwan. Focusing on its shock to catering industry, we can sign 2 critical dates. First, May 15th, when CDC announced a Level 3 alert in Xinbei and Taipei City. And second, May 24th, when the government released a dine-in prohibition. Examining Shijie's countermeasures, we can see that they have taken a relatively fast response to shut down dining services as early as May 15th. Carrying out only takeaway and delivery services, Shijie implemented strategies of temporary downsizing, since they no longer need waiters and waitresses. The downsizing strategies include the following 3 measures. First, rearrange employees' work shifts to reduce individual work hours. Second, encourage employees to make annual leave. And third, remain just enough employees to deal with takeout and delivery orders. As for the outcome, surprisingly, the overall performance of Shijie remains steady. In other words, there isn't a tremendous impact on Shijie's revenue, at least for the time being. Analyzing this phenomenon, we came up with 2 reasonable explanations. First, from a macro point of view, the main impact of COVID-19 might be an economic slump. However, according to their experience, prosperity downturns usually have a limited effect on Shijie, while most of their products are small amounts and usually considered necessities to their customers. On the other hand, although the overall customer demand is constant, Shijie still has to deal with the impact of shutting down dining services, which initially take up 25% of its sales. Since the proudly established delivery partnership, Uber Eats and Foodpanda are now taking on the responsibility to fulfill the demands of those who can no longer dine in. In conclusion, while Shijie Soy Milking accurately predicted the unaffected demand and has previously built a solid delivery partnership, Shijie were able to respond at a relatively leisurely pace and thus maintain their performance during the pandemic. Here's the end of our 3 analysis of service layout, food delivery, and COVID-19 impacts. Now, let's welcome Phoebe to present our overall solution.
Hi, I'm Phoebe and I'll be presenting the solutions part. To conclude, we'll be using the Tim Woods strategy to analyze how this waste-reducing method can help a company, business reduce their costs, increase profits, and improve lead times. First off, as we analyzed the soy milk business, we found that the T, which is known as transportation, is most efficient and waste-reducing through their midnight shippings and deliveries, as it avoids busy traffic hours and hence saves transportation time. Next, the letter bolded in red are recommendations that we came up with that a business can consider implementing to their own benefit. I is short for inventory, and it is advised to reduce their buffer inventories between process steps and look for potential waste that can be recycled or reused into the production process or other processes. M is the motion method. Redecorating or remodeling a restaurant's layout can increase efficiency and convenience for customers and employees, especially during busy hours considering how well known the store is. Next is W, which is the waiting method. A restaurant can reduce waiting time by standardizing instructions, specifically like training workers to go by the same food recipes and steps to ensure the fastest food production. Next, O is the over-processing, which examines process routes. For example, could be cheaper materials or ingredients that will benefit the restaurant's profit. And the next O is the overproduction, which refers to producing too much of a product or service and or producing it before it is needed. Here, the restaurant can control their food processes to only, for example, heating stuff or food when needed. Next, D stands for defects. When defects are detected, a business is encouraged to do frequent checkups on machineries, tools to prevent future errors. Last but not least, skills in this case is the specialty of a Chinese master chef that the soy milk restaurant hires, and they are in charge of the whole food production process and ensures top quality of the store's originality.